So welcome to our information session about majors for BSc and BSc Advanced students. Can you show me with hands, brave hands, who's a BSc Advanced student? And so Bronwyn Galanders, who's down here, she's the program coordinator for BSc Advanced. And the others then are BSc students, hopefully. It's okay if you're doing something more specialised. Of those, so this will be relevant to you a bit as well. Of those BSc students, who's doing a double degree with something? Okay, so we'll see. So I think everything we're talking about will be relevant to you as well. The double degree students have a little bit more restrictions than the BSc. But we'll try to cover everything. So, we're talking about majors available to students in the BSc and BSc Advanced from the School of Biological Sciences and the School of Physical Sciences. We acknowledge and pay our respects to the Kaurna people, the traditional custodians whose ancestral lands we gather on. We acknowledge the deep feelings of attachment and relationship of the Kaurna people to country, and we respect and value their past, present and ongoing connection to the land and cultural beliefs. So your BSc or BSc Advanced, you've got a lot of flexibility. If you're studying full time and this is your second semester at university, you've had a total of 1 out of 8 courses that's compulsory. The rest is completely up to you. But you need to know what the restrictions are, because there are some restrictions. So to graduate with your degree, you have to complete at least 1 major. So that's what we're talking about today. And the majors are defined by a particular combination of level 3 courses, third year courses, that give you a specialisation. So generally it's 12 units, where a full-time year is 24 units. So half of your level 3 courses is a single major, which raises the question of the other half, right? So many students do 2 single majors, and there are some majors that are already combined, called double major. So what these are is governed by the university's academic program rules, which you can navigate there. So if you just search for academic program rules, it helps to know it's called the undergraduate calendar. That helps with the Google search. You can also navigate there from the university homepage. You know that bit where it says find my degree or something like that? If you put in your degree there, you can find study plans and program rules through that link as well. So it's actually a lot easier to find these things once you know they exist than it was a few years ago. So because majors are defined by their level 3 courses in sciences, that's what we're talking about today. But the reason that we targeted first year students for this session is because most level 3 courses have prerequisites of level 2 courses and or level 1 courses. And if not prerequisites, at least assume knowledge. So you need to plan your level 2 courses so that you can get into the courses for your desired major and also have choice at the end. We want you to hopefully have choice at the end of your first year to what second year courses you can do. And you want to have choice at the end of second year for what third year courses you can do as well. So you're covering, it's about covering possibilities to give you flexibility. So back to this idea of doing 2 majors or a double major. These are not the same things, and we're not always good at using the terms appropriately. So double major is a privileged term. It's a single larger collection of courses that gives you a named double major, which are on the next slide. Doing 2 majors is literally, so for this example here, if someone does a major in chemistry and genetics, they've studied and passed level 3 courses that qualify them for a major in genetics, and then separately, the level 3 courses that qualify them as a major in chemistry, because each of these is 12 units. So together, that comprises the 24 units of their level 3 science that you will need to graduate. And if you've been doing maths and or computer science within a Bachelor of Science degree, you can do one of those as a major as well. So within a Bachelor of Science degree, so long as you do 1 science major, the rest of the other half of your third year can be a maths and computer science major if that's what suits you, all right? But you must do at least 1 science major as a BSc student. So this reminder to plan your level 2 courses to get get you to level 3. So here's a dump of the list of majors. So these are the single majors. And so any two of those could be combined by your own preference. And then here is the other formal double majors. And so in the program rules, it lists the specific courses that are required to qualify you for each of those majors. Now, we don't have this here because it's just additional information that gets updated every now and then anyway. So it's about realising that there's a very broad range of majors. And who's looked at study plans from the Faculty of Sciences website? So they're named by major, right? So if you look up a study plan for plant biology, it lists the courses that you need for that plant biology major, and then it shows you how much other space in your degree, if you're not doing a double degree, you have for other science courses. Okay. Now you notice some points here repeated, but it's because that's one of the main points, is you need to plan level 2 to give you choice for level 3. If you end up doing 2 majors, it's whatever you want to do. If you have one particular area you really like, so when I was an undergraduate, I was really focused on genetics. I did as much genetics as I could, but I needed to do other things. So I sought advice about majors that would support and complement that genetics. But other people might say, I really want this, I really want this. Maybe it's not a common combination at all, but that's no problem at all. If you've got the first and second year background for those level 3 courses, go ahead and do what it is that you want to do. Okay. So the BSc, to balance the flexibility of the BSc, that's why there's this requirement for you to do at least 1 major, so you come out with at least 1 specialisation. The other, it could be that you do a second major as well, but you don't have to. We generally say there are benefits of doing 2 majors, but if you feel like you're sacrificing something, if you want to do one focus and then a pick and choose from the other half, if that's what covers your interests, then you're probably better off going with that, but that's just my personal opinion. So what we've got now for the rest of the session is we can't cover all of the BSc majors in this session, right? So I'll just say from the beginning that if you want to talk about something that's not going to be covered explicitly in this session, I don't know if this venue's booked for anything afterwards and or if you're free, but we'll stay around for Q&A as long as we can. But if you don't know, if that's not enough and you don't know who to talk to otherwise, always contact the Sciences Service Hub as that first protocol. So this generalfaculty.sciences email address, they can potentially answer that question directly or forward it on to the people who can answer the question. So we're covering biochemistry and microbiology immunology majors, so that's 2 single majors, the evolution specialisation of the paleontology major, geology major, ecology major, chemistry major, and we've got 5 current students who are doing those majors, talking about the path, why they chose that major and their pathway towards it. So that's what we're doing for the rest of the session, and this is the order the slides are in, people. Okay? Brian and Megan. Who's going first? It's okay. Do you want to? The great thing about studying here is once we know you, we ask you to help out for the new students, and then we have to turn it on here. One way or another. Go for it.
Awesome. Hi, my name's Megan. I'm doing 2 single majors, I guess is the proper term. I'm doing biochemistry and microbiology. When I started university, I actually had this grand plan of doing a double degree where I majored in genetics and neuroscience. By the end of my first year, it actually didn't really vibe. I didn't particularly enjoy either of the things as much as I thought I would. Instead, I really liked parasitic diseases like malaria. So I changed, and my majors are now biochemistry and microbiology. I almost did do genetics as well. I thought that I didn't have the prerequisites for biochemistry because I did foundations of chemistry in first year. Turns out that was enough, and 3 days before the start of the new semester, I switched to biochemistry. I did a few random electives, I guess. Statistics is something that not really my thing, but everyone recommends you do it, and I 100% agree with that. If you can do statistics, if you've got space for it, absolutely do it. I also did evolutionary biology as an elective, which I really enjoyed. And then I did Latin, which was completely random, and argument and critical thinking. And I did gain a lot from the very broad electives. Argument and critical thinking was actually more interesting than I thought it would be. Made me overthink absolutely everything. But yeah, I'm in second year at the moment, almost at the end. I started mid-year 2019, so my degree is a bit weird, but I've got 1 more year. And then hoping to go on to postgrad in malaria research or basically any parasitic disease, because they're pretty cool. Yeah.
Mine's not as exciting as Megan's. I came in, and guess what? The grey hair is not because I'm in third year, it's because I'm a little bit old. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew it was science. So you can see in the first year, I just filled it up with science stuff. And chemistry was really hard, but I enjoyed it. And so I did the summer one of the extra bit of foundations of chemistry. By then, I then decided that it's not what I wanted to do. But I wanted to do biology. And I didn't know which part of it, so I did all 3 in second year, which is actually really good. So if you're not sure, do all 3 because it opens up the next part. And there's enough overlap where you go, oh, I learnt that in biochem and it popped up in genetics or it popped up in micro, and you study less towards the end of for the exams because there's enough crossover.
So when he says all 3, he means all 3 subject areas of the biomedical type biologies.
Yeah, the cool ones. The cool ones. Yeah. I think they're the cool ones. Okay, I'm that excited. So 3 weeks ago, and next year it is that cool. I want to go on a postgrad study, which I've teed up, and it's all happening. Fingers crossed. So that's the easy way. My big take-home point is the third year subjects all have something from second year, and a lot of the second year subjects all have one from first year. Now, if you look and go, I want to do this, and you haven't done the right things, there's options in those electives to maybe catch up on what you need, so you can open up the doors for whatever it is that grabbed you and you want to continue with. And we thought we'd throw up some things to keep you interested. If you get the opportunity at the end of second year to do a summer research scholarship, grab it. It will show you a whole new world in the lab or in the field or whatever your chosen area is. Grab it, grab it, grab it. 6 weeks at summer, it's easy. And the other point is yours.
Talk to everyone. That's basically what I've been doing for the last 2.5 years. I've been to a lot of networking nights which have industry people but also past students, and you can hear their career progression, what they studied and where they went from there. If you go to past leaders can be amazing to talk to. I had a really long conversation with my human perspectives past leader in my first semester. And she was amazing to hear what she had done and where she was going, and she was super passionate. And you just kind of pick up bits of advice from everywhere as you go. Also, something I did was I went to the Faculty of Sciences hub in my second semester, I think, and had them help me make a study plan for myself. And so every semester or at the start of every year, I know what I'm enrolling in, I know what I'm doing, I know where I'm going, now that I'm sure of where I want to go. And that was super helpful because I know I'm going to have the prerequisites for whatever I need going forward.
Thank you, Megan. We'll leave questions until the end, I think would be best. So now we have Amrish, who's done a paleontology evolution specialisation.
Hello? Hello? All right, cool. Can you guys hear me? All right, cool. All right, cool. Yep, so yes, all right. All right, yeah, so I did a specialized double major in paleontology and evolution, and I want to just tell you guys about my experience and why I did what I did. So, first thing is, I watched too much Jurassic Park as a kid, and a lot of my other siblings, they were terrified of dinosaurs. I just found them fascinating, and my parents just didn't catch on, and then when I told them I was studying paleontology, sure. Yeah, so I was always fascinated by bones as well as rocks, so that's the duality that I chose. Then when I found out that I'm actually an international student, and when I found out that Adelaide offered the paleontology course, I was like, oh yes, that's for me. And they also gave me a good scholarship, so that's why I'm here. Yeah, and also, yeah, another reason that I chose Uni of Adelaide is the paleo course here is actually really good because we have some of the oldest fossils in the world from the Ediacaran, which is 600 million years old, named after the Ediacaran hills. And we also have some of the youngest fossils in the world from Narracot. So whichever one you choose, youngest, oldest, we have that duality thing. So yeah, next up is my pathway. So these are some of the courses I take. I didn't put everything down as you guys, but yeah. So as you can see here, I mainly did Earth systems, MGC, molecular genes and cells, astronomy, Earth's interior. So my first year was just a mix of geology and biology because I wasn't too sure if I wanted to go the geology route or the evolutionary route. If you guys realized when Michelle was showing the paleontology double major thing, you could choose, in the brackets there was evolution and there was geology. So that's the two pathways that you can choose to take. And the good thing is you don't actually have to decide until the third year. So even in the second year, I was mixing and matching where I had set geo, structural geo, zoology, ecology, evolutionary biology 1, 2, geochem, and like ag and mat. So still a mix of geology and biology. Only in third year, I was like, you know what? I like bones a lot more than I like rocks. So let's go and do ecology, evolutionary biology 3, JFP, and field paleo. So and field paleo is actually really good where you actually get to deal with bones, and it's amazing. But yeah, so there's this kind of freedom for you where in the first and second years, you don't actually have to decide anything. Only in your final year do you have like, all right, let me choose my pathway now. And yeah, I do not regret it. Geology was not the right choice for me. Sorry, John. Yeah. So these are just some of my experiences where you actually get to deal with bones. That is actually a zygomaturus femur, and that's a sub-adult. So this guy, when he was fully grown, would have been like half a ton. But yeah. So you actually get hands-on experience with the paleo course where you actually get to deal with bones, and if you're actually interested in dinosaurs at all, they don't just like teach you behind a screen, and this one you actually get to go out the field and work with them, which is really good. And I think next year they're also bringing up visits to Emu Bay, which is they had to cancel because of COVID in the past couple of years. So yeah, and that's also just a video of me drilling a 500 million year old fossil, and I was terrified I was going to break it. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions for me, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys about my experience in paleontology. Cool. Yes. Okay.
Hi guys. So I'm in my 7th month of my first year of my PhD, so a little bit further down the line. I did honours, actually Bronwyn was one of my supervisors for my honours in environmental geoscience, and I worked a little bit with John as well. So I'll just talk a little bit about why I chose geology and ecology majors. I think in first year I saw a lot of the geologists always going away on field trips, and same with the ecologists, and that to me, love the outdoor life, like big fan of camping, so I was like, oh, it seems pretty cool for me. As I did my first and second year courses, I chose what I was most interested in, and then retroactively sort of chose my majors after that, which made it a little bit difficult to make sure that I definitely had majors. So like Michelle was saying before, pick your courses now so that you have a better timeline, and like Megan was saying, have an idea of like what you're going to do at the next step so that it makes it a little bit easier. So my interests are mine site rehabilitation and sustainability, which is why geology and ecology sort of tied in together for me. So I've done a little bit of a timeline because my study was not linear, and that's okay. So my first year I took semester 1, semester 2, just pretty general Bachelor of Science courses, and I really enjoyed it. Second year I then went into some more of the field trip focused courses like structural geo, botany, and ecological issues as well. As I finished my second year, I decided, hey, let's go live in the UK, specifically Leeds, for 2 years. I worked full-time managing a cafe over there, and then as my 2-year gap year in the middle of my Bachelor of Science came to an end, I was like, oh dear, I need majors. So this is when I sort of panicked a little bit because I hadn't chosen these second-year subjects with the idea of majors in mind, but I went to the Faculty of Sciences and they helped me enormously because they said, look, this is what you've got, this is what you need, this is the potential options that you have for your majors. It's up to you now what to choose. So that was really fantastic going in and talking to them about that. So after I came back, semester 1, because I'm from the country, my family's not here, so I had to sort of set myself up again, and then semester 2, getting back into third year courses after a 2-year gap was a bit rough, so went to the someone in the Department of Geology that I was happy to have a chat with and was like, help me, what do I do, where's the best place to start? And they pointed out Earth Systems History 3 was the best place to start, and just went from there. So I took this a little bit slower, did some part-time, and then so I've got Geology and Ecology 2 majors, so they're single majors together. Is that right, Michelle? Cool. So I had a few electives here and there that I could pick. One that I really enjoyed was Environmental Toxicology and Remediation at Wake Campus. That was a winter school course. That was a small space that I had for an elective in second year. So some of the opportunities that I really enjoyed about the 2 majors that I did, got a lot of hands-on experience with people in the career that I was looking to eventually get to. Both geology and ecology have great community of people that really supported me through my non-linear pathway, I guess. And I really enjoy field trips again. So some of the tips, again, go and talk to people, talk to everybody, talk to all the people that have done the wrong things, like I almost did. And talk to the lecturers, come and talk to me, PhDs, we're really not that scary. And the easiest thing to do is enjoy what you study, because it'll make it a lot less hard on yourself as well.
Hello, my name's Andre, and I did my majors in, which it doesn't say, biochemistry and chemistry. So I knew when in first year that I loved science, but I didn't really know what science I loved. So I kind of loved physics, I loved maths, I loved obviously biology and chemistry, and I kind of came down to the fact that chemistry was a central science for me, so it kind of jumps into all the fields, and by choosing chemistry I could kind of get a taste of everything that I liked from each of those areas. So it's really what cemented it for me was probably the lecturers and mentors we have here at Adelaide Uni, particularly in chemistry. For me, they just gave me opportunities that I can't thank them enough for, and really pushed my passion for chemistry forward. So I remember in, I guess like everyone else has said, pursuing those summer research projects. Well, I got opportunity to do one of those, and you have moments where you get to make something and see something that no one else has seen before, and I guess in chemistry that really spoke out to me. And I just wanted to highlight the chemistry Nobel Prize won by chemists for once instead of biologists, but it doesn't really matter what inspires you, whether it's Nobel Prizes or other stuff. Make sure to stay curious, right? So in my first year, I studied chemistry, obviously. I picked up some biology courses and PPR. I did stats life sciences as well. For some that were studying maths, it wasn't as beneficial as perhaps a stat course was, but you guys will pass that. And then in second year, I did Chemistry 2A and Chemistry 2B. Those courses have now changed. Now they're Organic Chemistry 2 and Physical and Inorganic Chemistry 2. So you have the option to pick up some additional courses if you're pursuing chemistry, such as Environmental and Analytical and Medicinal and Biological Chemistry, which were super helpful for just expanding your breadth of knowledge. Or for me it was. And I also took up biochemistry because, you know, I like multiple sciences. So then I went further into third year, pursued more chemistry, but they've changed the courses again. So they have the Chem 3A and Chem 3B course. So you can pick those up, but then also pick up some side chemistry courses, such as medicinal and biological chemistry, advanced synthesis of advanced synthetic methods, or synthesis of materials, or there's a whole range of them, but it'll give you the chance to specialize in the area of chemistry that you enjoy. In my third year, I also had the opportunity to go on the study tour to South Korea as part of the biotechnology, which wasn't really my area, but it was super, super awesome. They haven't been running it because of COVID, but when you guys get to third year, if you have the opportunity to do it, jump onto it. Because I think you just need like a biology course to be eligible for it, but it's like so much fun. So yeah, just my tips as someone who's gone through it, just stay curious. Like all sciences are linked together. It doesn't matter if you pick up one science and you're like, oh, that wasn't that interesting or didn't really speak to me. Those skills are often transferable to the science that you're passionate in or end up doing. And yeah, I just recommend taking advantage of all the opportunities you have in undergrad. So yeah, obviously your summer research scholarships, they're super, super valuable. So I did 2 of them. I wanted to do 3, but then the faculty said no. So you can only do 2. So I did mine between second year and third year, and between third year and honours. You can do one between first year and second year, but it's a bit harder to get. And I'd also recommend, I didn't do the science internship course, but I would really recommend doing that especially if you're looking to go into areas outside of academia, because I know a few friends who did that and they managed to get jobs out of it and it was super, super duper valuable. Also, CSIRO and ANSTO, and I think Lucas Heights, whatever affiliates, they have internship programs. So make sure you look outside of Adelaide Uni if you're looking for other opportunities, because they're out there and you can get them. And if you go on to pursue, obviously, chemistry or whoever your demonstrator is in practice, make sure to talk to them because they've been through it and they can probably give you some pretty good advice. And same with your lecturers. They're not as scary as you think they are. They're still a bit scary to me, but yeah. But yeah, make sure to research what's out there by yourself, and most of all, just relax. You know, you're only at uni once or twice if you come back or whatever, but just enjoy it. You know. So, it's a picture of me sleeping in South Korea. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. But cool.
Thanks very much to all of our student presenters. That's really, really helpful. So in case anyone doesn't know, I'm John Tyler. I'm the other BSc program coordinator along with Michelle. And I've just got 2 more slides to talk about what to do next. Almost everybody has said, speak to people, especially if you have the opportunity to speak to your lecturers. As a lecturer, I'm always really, really keen to talk beyond the subject that we're actually teaching, about the way that you navigate university life, about your choices and how that will affect you. So approach your lecturers. Almost everybody is really, really happy to engage in those sorts of conversations to help you progress. But if you don't want to do that, you can also, which we'd strongly advise you to do, sign up for one of these one-on-one discipline related meetings with lecturers in the fields that you're interested in to have a discussion about your specific program choices, the courses that would lead on to you doing a particular major. So Michelle sent an email on the 4th of October. So if you haven't got it, Yes, Michelle?
That was sent to BSc students only.
Okay.
BSc advanced students would have got an email from Bronwyn directly.
Right. Okay. So if you're a BSc
Indirectly.
advanced student, look out for an email from Imelda or Bronwyn, something to do with that. Okay. If not, you can. I'm sure you can find Bronwyn's contact details somehow. Okay. If there's anybody in this room who's not sure about that and BSc Advanced, come and speak to Bronwyn in 5 minutes' time. Otherwise, look out for the BSc students. Look out for Michelle's email, and you can sign up using this system called Calendly, which basically allows you to put an interview, a meeting time in our calendars during either week 12 or SWATVAC, so the week after week 12. And you can log in via Zoom and have a direct conversation, and we will do our best to guide you through that process if you have any questions or just any deliberations. Beyond that, if you don't know who to talk to, if your questions are more nebulous, or you're really struggling just to find a first step as to who to discuss things with, please don't forget the Sciences Service Hub. And there's a link here which, to be honest, I did copy into my browser, and it's a bit iffy, and so I then followed the instructions here, which is to basically go to the Sciences Adelaide website, which looks like this. It doesn't. It has a menu bar on the left-hand side. So scroll down to Student Support, and you'll get this page. If you then scroll down from here, there's a section that says Key Contacts, and you can book in an appointment with the Sciences Service Hub. And they will give you more general advice about planning your degree program, picking a major, and they may give you suggestions as to academic staff who you might want to speak to firm up your ideas. So please do use the resources the university offers. The reason we're doing this is that we want you to stay engaged with the program, to have a clear idea about what you're doing and where you're going. And so we will do our best to help you to the best of our abilities. And please take advantage of that. So with that, we'll open it up for questions. We've got 15 minutes still, and then hopefully, I'm not sure what happens after that, whether there's someone else coming into this room. But hopefully in 15 minutes, given the ratio of presenters to students in the room, there's probably plenty of opportunity for direct conversations. So rather than, unless anyone has a question now that they'd like to ask to the whole group, you can come down to the front and we can have small group chats about any specific questions. You've got it, yep. Okay, for the recording, that's the question about double degrees, and we'll talk about that offline as well. Anybody else with big questions? No? Okay, well, thank you very much for listening. Michelle, did you want to say anything? No? Okay, well, I should go to this final slide to say make history. So make history by being the first students to be fully organised from the end of your first year.
The current branding.
Yeah, branding is all important. So anyway, thank you.